So watch your front leg. You want the front leg to go next to each other.
Okay.
You can ask her also to lay down if she wants. Wait for the front leg. There you go. Did you see that? How she adjusts herself?
Uh-huh.
So I want to, I'm patient. Leg forward is I'm anxious. Like next to each other, I feel more confident. So we want to kind of create that confident space. If we tell her to sit, it comes with her forcing you in a behavior that you don't want to do. Okay? But if you want my treat, well, do you want to do it? So you want to have that conversation.
Okay. I put the tea kettle on.
That's fine. Mix some tea. I'm okay with the tea.
Oh,
Leave her
good.
there.
Good. Let me turn it off so it doesn't. Oh, yep, you're gonna go right.
So if she walks with you through the space, that's totally okay.
Okay.
What tea do you do?
I'm sorry, what?
Chamomile?
Yes.
Perfect.
It's my favorite. Okay. I will do that. Good girl. Wash my hands. She's doing okay following me around the kitchen.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just like with children. If you're caring too much, then they're not having that independent decision or experience. They're kind of being filtered out all these important pieces that she needs.
Yeah, she's. Boy, I've never seen her act like that. I expected her to do what she typically does.
Yeah, she was agitated because of outside. It's just the other dogs are on the other side. She doesn't get that feedback. So she's have to make decisions on her own. That's a lot to make.
Yes, that's typically the black lab runs forward and checks everything out while she pretends like she's in control of it. And then once the black lab's okay, which usually right away, she's calm.
Right.
So,
But you know, this codependent relationship is not really helping her overcoming what she's dealing with.
yeah, I can see that. I can see that now. It's like, is codependent pretty mesh? You're calming down. That's good. That's a good thing. The noise doesn't bother her as much as it used to. Typically, if I would clank those dishes while she was escalated, she would have taken off running and hit it or something.
Yeah. Well, you have done a lot of work so far. So that's good.
Do you take honey in your tea?
No, just plain.
Okay. That's what she does when I walk right over by you. I hadn't realized she was so protective of me. And isn't that?
No, she's not protective of you.
She isn't?
No, she's protective of herself, and then she has you too. So that's kind of like, I have my shit to deal with, and then I have your shit to deal with.
You're anxious,
Too much.
Yes, I'll grab it. Yes, that's exactly what she's feeling like. She's probably picking it up for me. Boy, that wasn't expected. I don't put this urine here. You got pretty scared, Tilly. That was a big bladder dump. What's your tea? Good girl. I think she's much calmer. Sorry you had to go through that.
Oh, that's
fine. Probably
fine.
worried she was going to bite you.
No. You know, if I had a gut feeling about that, I would call, you know, put the muzzle on, or you know, put the baby down. She's a good. She doesn't want to harm anyone. She just wants that to go. So I'm not triggering her. I'm just staying out of her system for now. I like to give her room to come and check me out. I will try not to engage with her anything. She's on her own shaking. So when she comes over to you, reward for her actually coming into that space.
Okay. Well, this was probably quite a drive for you from Vanilla.
I'm in territorial, so it's about a 15-minute drive.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
But it's rainy and people are driving me.
Yeah. Yes, people around here do that. I mean, up here on the highway, it can get pretty bad when the water's really high on the road and people just don't see people driving that. It can get pretty scary pretty quick.
Does she have any favorite treats?
Yes, she does. She loves those potato treats, and I have bacon in my...
Whatever she likes. Potato chips.
Do you want some treats? Some of the treats?
Oh, she's coming over. Yeah, please.
Okay. Like any of these.
Something that you have enough.
Plenty, yeah. I have a whole bag full because I was...
So, there's a slippery slope with bribing the dog into the relationship. Because the dog will be driven by food, processing what's going to happen. So I want her first to come in and then to reward her choices. So instead of luring her into me, I was just paying for her choices.
Okay.
So I would keep my treat secret. That's better. Rewards.
Good girl. Yeah, that's good.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you can encourage her more and putting her chin on your thing. So every time you feel that she's pushing you harder on that, reward that.
Okay.
So don't reward her until you have put the chin on your feet. She's so cute.
Very vocal.
That's okay. let it out of the system. Hi. Come. Here. Come.
You smell bacon.
Good. She's checking. It's good. You can reward her for that.
Good girl.
So every time she makes connection, reward. She can stare me down if she wants. She can look at me, try to figure out what I do. Yawning is a release. So she does that, she gets rewarded. So everything that feels better and calmer, reward. And you want to put it to the next level and to the next level. So less wrinkles, also reward. Checking with you, also reward.
Okay.
Leaning on you, also reward.
Yeah, the wrinkles part up here on top of her head.
So if you see in a scale from 0 to 10, that would be like 4.
Panting's because she's anxious.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Good girl.
So we're not only rewarding the body language, we're rewarding the body language in the context. And we don't reward only the body language in the context, we also reward how we feel about it. So if you feel she's anxious, we want to get to the next level. Like calmer. Sometimes we have to instigate it. Like for example, taking a deep breath. And say, I'm here, can you get there?
Got it.
Right? Because if we hold on to it, because we're stressed of the situation and feel embarrassed, then she's holding on to the same level you are too.
Okay. She definitely picked up on that.
Yeah. And reward. So some dogs have hard time finding that space. So we have to create that space. You do psychology too, right?
Yes.
So think about the children who cannot feel safe. You create that safety for them so they can come into that safe space. And if you're anxious, then you want to show with your body language how it looks like so they can imitate you, go to the same space.
Right.
So your body language is in that case kind of like, right?
Still kind of.
And once you change and kind of be more into your personal space, it says, hey, good, I feel comfortable here. I feel kind of hang out and do nothing, and you want to be with me here? And just whoop, she comes into it.
Got it. Like when I'm with a very anxious adult, I'll purposely stop and go.
Yeah.
And they'll do it too,
They
automatically.
Because they're dissociated. They don't know what they're feeling at that point.
Which is about what you're doing. Yeah. What you're doing. She knows I've got the treats.
Be careful with that. It's not about the money. It's about how we feel. Like, make that my space into our space, and then our space becomes more general space.
Well, on my leg.
Good. So that becomes also your indication. If you put your neck on my knee, then I know how you feel. That becomes like a two-way communication.
Yeah. It's better, huh? You feeling better?
Cheers.
Hopefully it's not too hot.
Perfect. It doesn't have to happen on the first shot. Her getting comfortable, getting used getting into that space is also part of training. Like we do kind of like an emotional cardio. You can get excited, but how about you get down here? How about you get faster down here? How about you don't go all the way up? How about you go somewhere in the middle? And how about you at some point don't even start going there?
Right, you don't need to do that.
Right.
It's
But
safe.
you cannot expect her to make that big leap without her, her body get used to it. Because right now we have the emotions kicking in, but the body is kind of hanging behind. Once the emotion comes down, then the body comes down.
Okay.
And she looks at you, she gets another treat. But don't reach your hand yet. Wait for her to look at you first. So see how she blinks with her eyes, and her smile is kind of like. So wait for her to soften up a little bit her muzzle, and then she's likely to look at you. There.
Good girl.
Did you see how that came up?
Yes. Such a difference. Such a difference.
So you see her mouth being smiley and her mouth being like open. We're going from smiling to open and like more softer face and not so hyper focused, like more softer. You see her wrinkles are less. And here she positions herself, here you go. But you can also hear from the breathing, it's not so forced anymore.
Is it helpful to pet or should I not pet?
Yeah, you can pet her. I know people say don't pet your dog. If a child cries because it's scared, you're gonna drop it on the floor or something. You're gonna throw napkins, you're gonna make smiley faces, get the kid to laugh.
Sorry, you got hurt. Yeah.
What you want to do though, see if she wants to drink some water because she's panting a lot.
Okay.
So you can take her, let's go get some water and go with her.
Let's go get a drink. Come on, let's go. Come on, Janice. Come on, good girl.
So sometimes in their stress, they forget about their needs, so we kind of force them to drink a glass of water.
Oh, yes, come on. Like a panicking adult.
Right?
Come on, Janice.
Is she drinking?
She will continue to tank out and drinks a lot of water. Okay.
She was thirsty, right?
Yeah.
It's a vicious circle. Ducks get anxious, then she gets thirsty, but she is afraid to go to drink water, and then she gets more stressed, and it becomes kind of a vicious circle. She gets more and more and more winds into it. So my goal is for her to have this complete survival response. I was threatened, I find a way out of it, I calm down, it's over.
Okay.
Because when we restrict everything with a leash, or somebody else tells us to do things, we're not going through our own process, we're going through another one's process. And our system is still stuck.
Yeah, just do her own work.
Yeah.
Okay.
And especially for bulldogs who are very confident about doing stuff, she hasn't been there yet.
Yeah, she.
I think this one, her walk is much calmer. Yeah. Oh, luckily she's not already down. Don't forget about the chin rest. Wait a little bit. There we go. Perfect.
Good girl.
And be quick.
Good girl.
So don't reward her making chin rest and moving away. Reward her being there.
Got it. So kind of have a treat.
Right. It's like, hold my hand. Don't touch it. Just hold it. If you feel insecure, hold it. And then I reward you for telling me how you feel insecure.
Got it. Like if I look at your eyes, then I should get a treat. Roman has treats too.
Now that's a good area for her to be with the breathing. That's good.
Okay, like when kids sob and they go through that catharsis.
We don't want the tongue to kind of become like a shovel that's already overheated the system, tries to cool herself down. Like she's too upset to kind of process anything. So we want to keep her as quick as cooled down as possible.
Okay. Nothing in that hand.
That's feedback. What the heck is going on in there?
Uh-huh.
What's going on? What happened in there? She's like, nothing.
Oh. You can hear them. I can't.
Not really.
But I bet they are barking.
Yeah.
They're nothing like her.
Oh, she's much better now.
Extremely friendly.
So there's the stare down and focusing on my behavior, and then there's a difference on looking what I'm doing. Like looking at my hand, looking at my legs, like general observation and then hyper focusing are two different things. So she's okay observing what I'm doing because obviously I'm new here, she doesn't know what I'm up to. But her hyper focusing, just wait for my mistake to go to the next level, we don't reward that. So we try slowly to go upwards.
Okay.
Sometimes it can get like 15, 20 minutes until the dog gets to that level of relaxation, and then from there we start adding little triggers.
Okay.
Like me moving my hand, and the dog is like getting alert, but he doesn't bark a reward.
Okay.
We work ourselves so I can get up without her getting triggered. We want her to tell you, hey, he moved. Yeah, I got it. Thank you for telling me. Instead of poof reacting to that.
Yeah. So if you were to get up and she turned and just looked at me, that's a reward. It's like,
Yes.
hey.
We want her, tell me if you're worried about it. Don't deal with it. The problem with brachycephalic dogs, the cooling system is very inefficient. So if they get too stressed, they get overheated, and then they get overheated, the system shuts down, and then it becomes a vicious circle. Good. Now you can pat her. She's pretty much softer.
I know. Hard work, isn't it? You're a good girl.
So get ready. I'm gonna move my hand in 3, 2, 1, and reward.
Good girl.
So now we're associating, he moves the hand and I get the treat. My hand movement is a reward. Okay. And then later on we're gonna say, hey, did I forget rewarding you? Like, yeah, good, jackpot. Okay, in 3, 2, 1. In 3, 2, 1. There you go. Do you see that?
Yeah, she looked right back at me. Right back at me.
I'm gonna get also this envelope here with Christmas recipes. In 3, 2, 1. Good. And then I'm gonna get up in 3, 2, 1, and reward. Good. You see how that goes?
Yeah.
So I don't want the dogs to be lured to do things. I want them to see a different mindset of what's happening. Like before I was threatening, now I'm kind of like, okay-ish. Like if that happens, something good is happening, so obviously that is not a problem. Otherwise she wouldn't give me that.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Positive reinforcement.
Right. But positive reinforcement in conjunction with how she feels. We care how she feels. It's not that we don't care how she feels, and she gets positive reinforcement for pretending she doesn't feel it.
Right. Okay.
Okay. We don't want her to lie. We want her to feel it. And if she doesn't feel it, then we don't think she's ready for it. So we're gonna wait a little bit longer.
Right. Well, there's no true change.
Right.
It's just a
Because we see people conditioning the dog to liking it, but they don't like it. They just do it because they're supposed to do it.
Yes.
Like extreme example from my perspective, being sexually harassed by a priest. I like to go to the church, but I don't like the priest. Okay, now how do we do that? What's the positive reinforcement with it? You don't need to interact with the priest, just go to the church, for example. That's okay. Okay, and then we're gonna have a coffee. Okay, I can do that. I don't have to do it, but I can do it. We come from that perspective.
Okay.
So if we put too much pressure on the dog doing it because of the food, then the dog has to do it because he has to do it. We want the dog to wanting to do it.
Yes.
And that had a good outcome from that.
Making it fun or beneficial, like sports with kids.
Right.
Force them to do the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm getting up in 3, 2, 1. Good. Now wait for her to look at you. In 3, 2, 1. Good.
Good.
That's how you do it. You do it every day with people.
Yeah.
Do the same thing.
It's so interesting. I always tell people it's like doctors shouldn't be their own physician, and therapists make terrible therapists for themselves.
Right? No, it's difficult because we're biased with it. And it's difficult because we have to rethink. We are with a non-verbal child that doesn't express his emotions, that is eventually unable to say his emotions, so she's showing her emotions. We have to kind of find that key, let her talk more, let her get out of it, let her show you how she feels instead of holding on to it and barking about it.
Got it.
I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. Okay, what's behind that?
Yeah.
Where is it coming from? You want some?
This is something she does when she's relaxed, is she'll back up against me and I pet her, so she's pretty relaxed.
No, because she looked at you and she touched to you, I'm gonna throw her another one.
Okay.
Reward.
Oh.
Reward.
Good girl. Sorry.
You know why we rewarded it?
Because she looked at me.
And she came closer. It was her choice. She looks at me, I'm gonna throw another treat. Good? Here. Now what I do is I have her walk away and come back to me. Walk away and come back to me. If she doesn't want to come back to me and she wants to look at you, it's being rewarded for that. So you either can come to me or you go over there depending on how you feel.
Wow.
Good? Now she'll come back to me, to you, because I don't give it to her anymore. So plan B, if I don't get what I want from him, I'm gonna come back to you.
Good girl.
But she looks back to me, I'm gonna toss her a treat. So now we have a three-sound communication. If, or.
Mm-hmm. Both are, she's relaxed with both
Right.
and feeling okay.
Gotcha. What do you do for that? Good. So she checked in with me, she's like, I want what you have, okay. Good. Okay. That's it. That's all I have right now. I'm gonna drink some tea. You want some tea? But no water. If I don't do what she expects you to do, we have two options. Bark about it or walk away from it. We're gonna reward walk away from it. Go back to the safe source. Kind of like, what do you do if things don't work out? Reward and affection.
Good girl. Good girl. Good girl.
No, you don't give it to her. She's gonna look somewhere else. There you go. Here, go get it. And now I'm gonna offer my hand. If she pushes my hand, then I pet her. Or she comes back to you. Reward.
Good girl.
So food is a motivation, but affection is motivation too. But for my belief system is relationship is the primary motivator. What is our relationship? Am I a prey? Am I a predator? If I'm a predator, I want what you have. Okay, I have what you want, but you have to do something for me. Okay? And so all of a sudden we have this exchange. All of a sudden it becomes a flow. It becomes kind of like interactive. If I only want something from her, then she's the victim, which makes me the predator. And it's not a good relationship. So I want to keep the relationship. Hey, you can come and go wherever you want. I'm not a predator. I'm just minding my business. But if you want what I have, well, what is it worth to you? Well, I have to come over. That's fine with me. I don't think it's a good idea. Well, then you can walk away from it. So I don't want her to be what she accused me to be. I want to be who I really am. So I don't want anything from her. I have something to offer. She wants to take it, she takes it. She doesn't want to, she can go somewhere else. Okay, I'm here. I'm not minding my business.
Okay.
So we have food and we have affection. Both are available, so you can have either or.
And without the food, she will take the affection. She
Right.
likes that just as much.
But it's her choice. People always reach out to the dog without their consent, and that's what gets in trouble. And that's why she's afraid of people.
Yeah, I could see that with the vet and the vet staff and.
Yeah, it's unfortunately we have this weird system where the dogs are not allowed to be socialized because they're not vaccinated. They're not vaccinated because it's dangerous, that so to speak. But the dogs are immune for the first couple of months, so we can use that advantage. And the reality is, if we don't do a titer test, we don't actually know if she's immune or not. Maybe she's immune, and we don't have to worry about all these things.
Yeah.
And what's the chances that she meet a person and this person has, and if she gets infected by something, it's still treatable without really side effects once you catch it early.
With her, I think more than anything, it's always been noise, always.
Yeah.
A tiny puppy, she's really tiny, and any noise, and she would run and hide under something.
Well, if people or children don't feel safe from early childhood, everything is a trigger. They hyper focus on all those noises because they just want to be proactively safe. So the keys in the door, the way a person drives up the driveway, they know what's going to happen, so they pay attention to who's driving.
You decided Roman's a good guy?
Some dogs, once they are in a play mode and they are ready for it, they're going to bring a toy or something of preference. But I don't think it's going to happen today. Maybe next time. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get up, go towards the bed and come back again. Okay? In 3, 2, 1, and reward. And reward. So she will look at you every time she's concerned. That will be the default. So if you're concerned, check in with me. What she does with the other dogs, and the other dogs respond to that, but we don't see that because it happens so quickly.
Yeah, maybe why she's always looking at the
right.
lab.
So instead of looking at the lab, we want you to be the lab for now. Okay? So I'm going to pick up the ball in 3, 2, 1. And what? There we go.
He's got one of your favorite toys, doesn't he?
If she looks at me, I'm going to toss it. She's looking at the ball, she looks at me. Whatever. That's cheap. Cheap trick. I know, sorry. And reward. You can always use also good as a marker, and then you have time to reward.
Okay.
But you have to program it. You say good, give her a treat. Good announces the treat. Good announces the treat. You can also use the clicker, but it's kind of like too impersonal.
Yeah, her eyes flick really fast when I use a clicker. Like
yeah, she's
it's almost like a seizure or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had to stop using it because she was afraid of it.
So say the word good and give her a treat.
Good.
Do it kind of like 10 rounds.
Okay.
Like remember we said the word here and then we modified it to something different. Good is always reward. Good announces the reward. First you say the word and then you move your hand.
Good.
Perfect.
Good.
Too fast with your hand.
Too fast. Okay.
You want this kind of 0.3 delay.
Give you a little time.
The brain to kind of switch.
Good. Good. That was fast.
We need the brain to catch up with it.
Okay. Good.
That was good.
Good.
Now what we can do, since she's coming up, we can let the other dogs come in.
Okay. They will be really friendly. They might bark for just a second.
But now that she made her own choice, let her compare what she got from the other guys.
Okay.
Here, that too.
Put this out of the way just in case.
Yeah, we don't want the tails to take care of.
Oh, yes. Here we go. Thank you.
Hey guys, what's up? Hey. Hey, over here. Everybody lays down. Thank you. Over here. Thank you.
Zip, lay down.
Good. Hey. Over here. Good.
Zip.
Okay.
Zip. Pets. Good dogs. Good boys. Good boys.
No, stay here.
Good boys. Yeah.
Stay here. Thank you.
I just have to say that's the most escalated response like that, but that's very typical of her needing to
I
control
know.
the situation.
There's something we also have to work on. So we're going to switch to a relaxation exercise. So things can happen around you, but it's none of your business. Stay out of it. How about you sit? Thank you. You can call over there, but you don't let her get out. No, from that side.
Oh, this way.
Just want to block her so she doesn't get out.
Oh, I'll catch on. Oh, I catch on. Okay. Good girl, Tilly. Yeah. There you go. Calm down.
So that response looks like she's guarding, but she doesn't want that additional anxiety in already the situation she's in. That was good to see. Hi guys.
Yeah, this is what we deal with, only this was a much bigger level.
Right.
I know.
And now it's very tricky because she takes that as kind of a thing that she has to do, and it works. So it's a functional behavior at that point. We need to kind of give her an alternative functional behavior first before we take that away. So instead of doing that, how about you do this? For example, how about you stay here while they do that? Okay, they can do that, and we stay here. We're gonna do our own thing. Let them do their thing while we do our thing, and then we can switch over. It's none of your business. So start with your husband relaxation exercise with your dog. We're gonna have her. It's about a week or two, just consistently. Her doing her place, and your husband does things with the dog. So in the beginning, him just walking back and forth while you guys are doing their thing, and then we're gonna take one dog on a leash, and we're gonna do our thing, but your dog will be on a leash, just a backup plan. And then we're gonna toss the ball, and these guys we're gonna run them forward, and we're gonna do our thing while they do their thing. So their thing and our thing. We want to create that distinction.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
That makes total sense, because when they're all doing the same thing, that's when this happens.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when she's so sensitive about environmental triggers that their anxiety is already feeding her fear.
Yeah.
So she feels like things get out of control. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Do that. Don't piss me off. I'm already busy doing my stuff.
Yeah, and they're already afraid of her, so she gets away with it.
And that's why I made noise, because I wanted her to regulate towards me.
Yes. Thanks for doing that. Yeah, she's
So I think that needs definitely a 4 or 5 hours nap to kind of get her out of the system and kind of calm her down. So you can take her out for a walk a little bit, she can pee and poop, and then let her rest.
Okay.
Do you have your leash?
I do.
Good.
I do.
Take your leash, because if I get up, they get up, and then.
Oh, okay. You want me to do it now? I was thinking I would be mindful of your time. Okay, I will do that. Let's see. And I'll put the collar on her now instead of this.
Oh, you can put the leash on the front. That works too.
This one doesn't have a clip in the front.
Oh, it does in front. Yeah, this little thing.
It does.
It does, right? So one side on the front, and the other one put it on the back. If she takes forward, she's gonna automatically turn.
Okay, got it.
No, I got you.
Okay.
I let myself out.